Trichter because I know Zi8gzag doesn't really like moving at all. What doesn't mean that he is bad at it, because he did practice it, especially before the World Cup. He was grinding a lot of moving, because that is very much needed in this format where you start off with a moving game.
True.
We have the stats here. We see a 44-second average guess time on Trichter, which is probably the longest.
Yeah, him and Spaghetti are probably battling it out.
Yeah.
Or maybe in Finbar as well. They definitely like to take their time. But it doesn't mean they never insta-guess.
I feel like that's a major difference in this matchup. Zi8gzag is a very fast-paced player. You can tell that from the amount of games he has played. We can fact-check that one real quick. Let's see. Actually give some real numbers. Let me go on Zi8gzag's profile, and we are currently on 55,535 played games. And you don't get this amount by playing slow. He's definitely someone who likes to spam games, which will give you good vibes. I feel like that's how you build up good vibes and good instincts on the rounds. Whereas Trichter is someone... I don't feel like Trichter is someone who really likes that playstyle. He really dives more deep into every round, tries to gain every information he has, and make a guess based on that.
Yeah, and also I would say that Trichter is not the guy to, play a lot of solo games. I feel like he prefers to just, use the map making app. Shout out to Rihanna for making that one possible. Also just a very good tool to become better at the game. Some top level players spend more time in that than really playing the game. Somebody like RC and Consus, I know that they are spending tons of time in that app, more than really playing the game.
Yep. Very deserved shout out to Rihanna. I can count myself in. Definitely spending more time on the map maker than with playing GeoGuessr. And we are in Indonesia. We have some good information here.
Yeah, it does say Kabupaten Bone, and he's right on it. It's a bit further. Wait. Bone Balongo? Okay.
It's Bone Balongo, yeah. That's another one. There's two Bones in Sula.
Yep.
One is where Zi8gzag clicked. I think a bit further north.
Yeah, a bit further north. That's what I meant. I thought it just said Bone, but...
Yeah, but Bone Balongo is in the north indeed. And we are in Turkey. And we have a trash bin right there. Is it readable?
Oh. Asanya? Something like that.
Say Isanya?
Asanya, something like that.
Sure.
Bro's Googling real quick.
It looks central.
Quick Google there by Gelotrus, shout out.
It's always hard to make a guess when they play moving.
Yeah.
Because they usually don't look at the things that I would like to look to, but it looks central western. Like central in general. Isanya rings a bell though.
And
the central west.
Famous town there.
Let me open up the GeoGuessr map real quick. Because some towns don't show up. Oh, it's pretty small, yeah, no. It's a very small label, so no shame on them for not finding it.
And another Kabupaten name, but a very distinct roof as well, so you could definitely get it without looking at this sign. But Trichter trying to find a better look on it. I can't read what it says.
Ship. How do you call the shape even of this roof? I mean, it is not in West Sumatra with those spiky.
It's like a half moon, pretty much.
Yeah, almost like a ship or something. I don't know, but you see it a lot in West Sumatra. Good architectural clue to get that region of Indonesia.
And Trichter is on the flawless right now. I mean, it's only 3 rounds played, but setting the tone maybe a bit as we go into maybe a country where both players are not very familiar with how to use information, unless Trichter just zooms in very fast. Almost got me there.
Yeah, we have the longer insulators, which you see more on the southern span of Thailand. But you, Ziggy, as someone who did a little bit more research on Thailand than I did.
Well, I only know Car and copyright.
Would know that.
I don't see copyright, so what am I supposed to do here, really?
True. But would you look at that?
Well, that is a guess and a half, if you ask me. That's one way to gain 1.3k points on the southern part of Thailand.
Yeah, very good region guess there from Zigzag. Just 11 kilometers off. As we go over to his home territory, we are in Australia. We have some yellow signposts, which you see more in Western Australia. We also have a railway along the road. If you know your railways in Western Australia, that can be a good clue.
If you know, you know.
If you know, you know. But we also have a lot of information on those signs. I don't know if these are helpful enough.
No, I can't really tell what's helpful and what's not in Western Australia. I don't think I know a lot of towns there.
Yep,
Just,
I agree.
Very recognizable place, so...
They are definitely helpful, but maybe not for us. But for Trichter it is. Just outside Bunbury. Catching up some good points, given the fact that they are both in the same region of Western Australia. Some really good points for Trichter there, getting the lead in this match on round 6 now, as we have some piranha pines along the road.
A lot of piranhas.
Those trees are mostly in the piranha state. In Brazil, you can also see them a bit further north, a bit further south. As we have Zigzag going
Lagos.
Very far east.
Don't think this is Nigeria though,
No?
Unfortunately.
No?
But definitely something you can scan for. Like, there was a marker, but it sadly only said Sul, which means south. And there's a town called Lagos, and he found it itself. It's south of... Oh, but he goes very far away from it. It was further south, but definitely in Santa Catarina.
See, I can't really tell how far Zigzag is from...
He is...
Trichter's guess. He's switching around still.
I think he got very close now. Pretty good switch.
Yeah. That was an important switch to reduce the damage. As Trichter is getting very close again. And we go over to round 7 now. In Italy, we have those Italian bollards.
And I'm getting...
Which you also see in Albania, but given the looks, this should be Italy.
And I'm getting Sardinia vibes here, or maybe just or actually maybe I'm just getting southern boot vibes. Zigzag going very far north here.
This green, we have a road marker there, but that only really helps if you already have a region down. They both end up going a bit further south. Trichter still switching around, but getting there in the end.
What a guess.
Playing very strong right now, especially with his last 3 guesses. Getting very, very close all the time.
Getting that close with no information in Italy.
Yep.
Very good.
Definitely strong.
Vibe guess there. It does say wow, wow, wow.
Are going over to around in Portugal, I would say, with this
it says Coimbra.
Statement.
And an insta-guess,
If
but...
it's saying Coimbra, I would trust that one. They both have the same sign. They both end up in Coimbra. Nothing Zigzag likes to see. That's only a stall. That's only ramping up the multiplier and getting us closer to the final round. But we still have 2 rounds to play. Zigzag is hoping for bigger countries where he can turn this game around, whereas Trichter is hoping for the small countries.
And he is getting a small country. I think this is Albania. We do have the black sign back. Long antenna. I imagine it to be rifts in the sky. I just, I can sense them.
You can sense them. You also see it a bit in the front.
True.
There's this slight stitching error on it. And we also have those Albanian water tanks. Albania actually has a lot of good clues.
Yeah, definitely.
To also get it without the rifts. And they both are somewhat on the right road.
I mean,
Zigzag chose to not click on it.
And he gets rewarded for it. Think about that one.
But he's closer. It's all about getting geographically closer in this game.
Ooh, last round for Zigzag, and we are in Bavaria, it seems. Or somewhere just very south. Could be over the border in Baden-Württemberg.
Very hilly.
Yeah, Allgäu, I quite like.
It's going very far south. I don't know if the mountains are big enough. Could be.
Ooh, it is the Allgäu.
It is right there.
Not gonna be enough.
And that is the game. We are reaching the final round, and Trichter secures this win, played very well.
As you predicted.
Nothing you can do there. Yep, the moving game, especially something that suits more for Trichter, but I'm sure Zigzag is locking in now as we go to no move. She definitely prefers more to play. And we start off in India. Probably something you like to see on round 1.
Yeah.
Rather than on high multis, because it can be very hard and sometimes very random to read and guess.
I mean, just the amount of different cars you can see in India is insane. I mean, this looks like a very distinct car with like a tape on it in the front. I have never seen it in my life.
No,
so
there's like a butterfly on it, I think.
Yeah, something like that.
I've heard of it. I feel like I've heard of a butterfly on the car in India, but I also feel like it's in more places.
Well, you know, after this round, it will become a meta.
After seeing where this is, I'm always clicking there when I see that butterfly on a car.
I mean, this seems very unique, so I will definitely remember this.
But as you already said, in countries where you have a lot of car metas or different cars covering, it's getting to a point where it's not even worth learning because it's just too many.
And it's just expanding every day. India is getting a lot of updates even now.
We are still hoping for the better camera quality.
And we are just not getting blessed by the camera quality today.
Nope. Still back to 360p here.
Yeah, we're in Windows XP.
Nigeria. Kano click from Zigzag makes sense. Trichter also right around there. It's a pretty good hedge if you have some dry, hilly coverage with that camera quality.
You know, I have a question now. Were people in chat, you know, the person to have Windows XP or Windows Vista? I feel like that's like kind of the divide. Let me know. But let's focus on this round.
No one really used Vista.
I think my mom used.
It's like the one that just pretty much got skipped.
I mean, I did not hear anything good about it. As we see both players going into Wyoming. Beautiful state.
Definitely.
Big ups, Wyoming.
Makes sense. We have a very wide gravel road with those mountain ridges. Winter coverage also fits. It's looking very cold. Cold and sunny at the same time. It's also something you see a lot in Wyoming. A lot of sunny coverage in the winter.
You know, could also be technically Nevada or something, but with the soil, I definitely like Wyoming more. Definitely seems like Wyoming, Montana.
Yep, definitely both
shot.
Possibilities.
Okay.
Look at that. Trichter is pretty much on the road.
Yeah, that doesn't seem to be like a middle click because he did consider going a bit more south and he went for it and it paid off.
He was looking around there. I mean, both players really. Shout out to both of them for getting Wyoming. As we stay in the US.
I see the chat now. It's a bit on a delay, but I see more people on XP. I mean, that was expected. And somebody said, what is Ziggy saying? No, just making a bit of conversation. Where
maybe they are too young to know what Windows XP and Windows Vista is.
That might be the case, but okay, you have to shout a state here. What state would you shout?
Idaho? Maybe?
Okay, Idaho. I can see that.
We have, the season fits, mountainous green.
You know what? I will support your Idaho guess. Just so we stand in union.
Yeah, it's also looking a bit dry, so maybe a bit further west. Something I also considered was Colorado.
Ooh, we have a Cali guess. Big difference now.
What?
And it is Cali. Is that enough to close out the game? Not quite there.
Not really, but getting a very good lead with a very impressive guess. Not the easiest California there by any means.
And now Zigzag is really on the back foot here. He is down 0-1 already, and now he's down to 700 HP. And we are back in the US, it seems. I don't know if he will be happy to see this again, or sad. Really depends on how this round goes, I guess.
Definitely. And yeah, looks like We have no fronts, which will put you more to the north or east. Or south.
Or south or west.
A couple of states with that. Michigan is one of them, indeed, and Zigzag is there, whereas Trichter is going more south. This will definitely be game, as it is indeed in the south, and Trichter is on it. Happy about that when getting 3 points off Zigzag. Very, very important, especially in a tough matchup like this.
Yeah, and in what a fashion. I mean, that was quite dominant, I have to say. Moving game especially, he did fare well with information, without information. We saw the Italy guess in the moving game, you know, just clicking there somehow, getting 40 kilometers away.